The Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show. Here we go.
Where'd it go? Here we go right here. So, Tulsa and Wyoming, ACC versus Mountain West. Tulsa -6. Tulsa on offense, returning 6 for our starters. Tulsa on defense, returning 3 with new defensive coordinator Luke Olson. Who knows what's going to happen with that? On the offensive line, they lost 4, but they do look real good as a new unit going into the season. This new group that they have in there, they've been doing really well. They started them in the spring with an O-line battle. So they had the offense and defensive line going at each other. So a lot of movement over there. What else going on with these guys? On the D-line, they have decent talent. They only returned 3 on defense. So they have decent talent, but they need some standouts to step up in that position over there. It's some key positions that are questionable on the offense and defensive line. The schedule's a little tougher. I don't expect to see what we saw in 2021 to this 2022 team right here that we got. Wyoming, on the other hand, Wyoming played just lousy last week. Peasley played exactly like I told you he would. 5 for 20, 30 yards, 1 interception. But the running back did look good, Sweden over there. If it wasn't for him, they probably wouldn't have had no offense at all. The O-line did pretty good, 0 sacks, 182 rushing. Like I said, they could run the ball a little bit, but not much action with the pass. 2 turnovers on offense. The defense, I can't hold the defense 100% accountable because of the amount of time they had to spend on the field, but they did allow 260 yards rushing, which is not of their character at all. And the DBs also allowed 217 passing. So that's a little still tough. You know, that's what they do, right around like 200, 206. That's what they do with defensive passing. But in this game coming up, overall, I'm going to go ahead and give my shot now, and then I'm going to turn it over to Big Ragu. I'm fading Wyoming. They look horrible. Craig over there, he kind of got his head down a little bit. Not only did, the offense underperform, the defense has some problems too. He talked about this going into this game, and he got the results that I guess he was expecting. So I do think that they are going to tighten down the offense since they know they can run. I think they're going to use that to their advantage and try to fix those situations, probably try to slow games down again and play Wyoming football. But I think they do get on the board this weekend, maybe a couple times. So I do lean on the over in this one because Wyoming seems to play a little higher on offense sometimes out of conference. I guess it's just people don't expect the physicality of them on offense as well. So I do expect Wyoming to score more points. I lean the over, but I'm going with Tulsa. Give me Tulsa in this one right here. Tulsa's going to put it together on this side. Philip Montgomery, 8th year right here. In his press conference, he talks about player growth, conference growth. He talks about his O-line and D-line battle. He has high hopes in his teams, and this is the one right here. I'm taking Tulsa. How about you, Big Ragu?
Yeah, I looked at this game earlier, because obviously I had to know something what I'm talking about here with this Tulsa, Wyoming. But we got a good look at Wyoming last week in that Illinois game. I wouldn't say a good look for Wyoming, but we got to see where they just kind of got outmanned, outplayed. Physical, both sides of the ball. I mean, they were not. It wasn't good. 6 points. They got a field goal in each half for the game, and they let Illinois hang 38 up on them. So, like you said, if it's uncharacteristic for Wyoming to give up that many points, in that fashion, they just look, I want to say ill-prepared, but at the same time, we talked about all the talent that they had lost, and you're going to see more and more of that type of stuff happen this year, especially with the portal and players jumping around. So it's definitely going to create some. It's going to create some opportunities and probably some missed opportunities in handicapping. For us, we'll just have to figure things out as we go along. But I don't think we were on Wyoming. You were heavily invested in Illinois, and that was a great call by you. I was tied into the under on that one, and I told you I was going to run to the window. But by the time I tweeted out, it was 44, but I got in at 44.5 earlier on. So that was a push for me for record keeping sake on that game. But they're going to have to step up this week. You know, they got the one game out of the way. I wouldn't call it rust, you know, because there's really rust. Rust is like, you know, when you've had the same players, you know, the same staff and the whole nine, which they still do have the same staff, but just trying to get that first game out from underneath them, and it wasn't a good look for them. But Tulsa, you know, like you said, Montgomery's in his 8th year. You know, I think they come up with a bowl win. I think they had a 7-win season. I think they beat Old D, you know, towards the end of the season. And I think the question mark for me with the Tulsa team is the quarterback issues. I know he had like 18 touchdowns and 16 picks, so he's going to have to clean some stuff up there. Is he going to be able to take advantage of I wouldn't call it a wounded Wyoming team, but maybe a vulnerable Wyoming defense? That remains to be seen. If you're pretty high on them, you know, I know this is your gig, you know, the Mountain West. Mm-hmm. I mean, I might ride along with you, but as of right at this moment, I don't have a really good look on this game. You know, I've got a lot of question marks around Tulsa, you know, on the offensive side. And then, you know, like you said, with Peasley going 5 for 20 for 30 yards for Wyoming, you know, how much offense are they going to produce, even if, you know, Tulsa's willing to give up some yardage. Now, I don't have the Tulsa numbers. Let's see. Last year, they gave up. Let's see. I know they have 6 losses, but I was just trying to look at their defensive numbers, but I don't have them in front of me. But anyways, they run that 3-3-5 scheme, which is that you're well familiar with over there. And I think you know, just depending on what Wyoming does on the offensive side, you know, I maybe even look to possibly another under here. You know what I mean? Possibly. I don't know. If Wyoming can score 20 points, I think the game has a good shot of going over. But I think if they score like 17 and Tulsa puts up, let's say, 17, 20, 14, I don't think we're going to see a real high scoring game. I think we see like a 21-17 type of game here with this. So I would lean towards the under again, just because of the fact that I've seen what Wyoming did defensively. And they're definitely stepping down in class because Illinois was ready to roll and take them on. I don't think you're going to see that same effort. You'll see a better effort from Wyoming in this game, but what kind of effort we're going to see first out of the game with Tulsa?
Well, I'm just going on the fate of Peasley, the fate of Wyoming getting stripped of all their players to the portal, at least the ones that they needed, and also Tulsa right here, 3-0 straight up in the last 3 versus Wyoming, also 2-1 ATS. And books give it a 6.5. They say it's a go, so I'm gonna call it a go. Put me down for Tulsa minus 6.5 at this one.
Yeah, okay.
But
I'll have to ride with you on it.
Before we go into the next